magician Robby Bennett from Cirque HOU. All
Hey,
right.
Deborah.
Let's
Thank
do
you for
our
having me.
tricks.
All right. So I started performing really young. In fact, I got my first magic kit when I was 5 years old. Brought it home, and I was disappointed that I couldn't wave the wand and clean my room like in Mary Poppins. But shortly after that, I learned how to tie a knot into a string or a piece of rope and make it disappear.
Okay.
Not very impressive, but ever since then, I've never had any trouble with my shoelaces. See? All by myself.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, I learned the world-famous cut and restored rope trick. Now, if you've ever seen a magician before, you've probably seen this trick. The magician takes a piece of rope, ties the ends together, and then cuts the, cuts the rope.
Oh, wait! How did
You gotta make the best out of
I
it.
can't ask how you did that.
So now we have two even pieces of rope tied together in the center by a knot. Actually, Deborah, they're not quite even, are they? If they're even,
not.
then that would be about there.
Oh.
Not up here, not down there, but about there in the center. I'll tell you what, we'll actually use two different size pieces of rope for this. Pull the knot for me like that.
Okay, just pull the knot?
Yeah,
Okay.
see, it doesn't move.
No, it doesn't.
You want to know why it
Okay.
doesn't move?
Why?
Because I snapped. When you snap, you get your, man, you really pulled that tight.
You
get your two different size pieces of rope. So now we have our short piece of rope and our long piece of rope. There's a joke there that I won't tell on 9 a.m. television. Take the ends, you fold them up like this, you snap, you pull. That leaves you with 1, 2, 3, 4 even ends and 2 pieces of rope. But like I said, this is the world famous cut and restored rope trick.
And I'm like staring right at him to see if any ropes are jumping out of his arms or anything.
I'm gonna give you guys something you can try at home. You too, Deborah.
Okay.
Go home, get a piece of rope, take the ends and place them in your pocket. And without using the ends, try to tie a knot into the rope. Not a false knot, not a slip knot or anything like that, but a real knot.
Okay.
You'll see that it can't be done. Okay, maybe it can be done if you're like a Girl Scout brownie, big fan of your cookies, by the way. What you won't be able to do is get the knot out of the rope. Not because you're trying to get a knot out of a rope without using the ends, but because you actually have a piece of rope with no ends. And 2 ends without a rope. Now, would you believe that I haven't been completely honest with you this whole time, Deborah?
Well, if you're a magician, you can't be completely honest with us.
It's like a relationship.
Yeah.
By the way, my fiance does not want me talking about her on television, so hi, Ellen. Hold out your hand for me.
Okay.
Sam, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. See, I never actually had a piece of rope at all, but if I wrap the ends around like this, it creates the illusion that I'm tying a knot. One more time. You see, it creates an illusion. Lower your hand for me.
Okay.
Creates an illusion so good that you'd swear that I had just what I said at the beginning. That being one piece of rope.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. All from the magic kit.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Cirque HOU. You created that because...
Cirque HOU, yeah. I noticed, I've been performing for the last 15 years professionally, and I noticed that Houston had a lot of really great talent, and they needed a professional mainstream context to be seen.
Yeah.
So luckily we have the new Midtown Arts and Theater Center Houston. It's one of the new hidden treasures in the city.
Yeah.
And we're doing our second performance on July 15th.
That's cool because you're right. Where do you go to see magic acts like this, right?
Well,
Sometimes
it's
at private
everything.
parties
We
and
got.
all.
I was standing backstage at the first show, and I was amazed by what the people were doing. We've got acrobats, sideshows, stand-up comedy, magic. You want it, you got it.
Yeah, and all this kind of happened by circumstance. You mentioned since you're very young, at 5 years old, but there was something going on. You got really sick.
Yeah, I started doing magic because around the age of 9, I got sick for 2 years. So when I was home from school, that's what I did. Sort of to take up my time.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I got back to school, I realized that I had an excuse to not score touchdowns because my fellow students and the teachers were really supportive. And it kind of took off from there. Started doing shows professionally when I was 12. And since then, I've done 2 Vegas venues, New York, London, East Africa, and Lubbock, Texas. So you know I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I love is that you brought that here in Houston because a lot of times for even people who are singers and musicians, they would like grow up here and get trained here, but they had to leave. But now they can stay home.
Trying to prevent that exodus.
Yeah.
And another thing we're really excited about too is that in our lobby, before you even get into the theater, we have artist Jumper Maybach hosting an exhibit right outside.
So all kinds of art celebrated.
Bang for your buck before you even get into the theater.
Yeah. I'm just going to mention real quickly that you are also a trainer. I want to make you. Can you make my fat disappear?
I can.
Yeah.
I can handcuff you to a treadmill and see how long it takes you to get off.
All right, you can see Robby perform live on July 15th at Match Houston. For more information, we've posted a link on our site, greatdayhouston.com. Thank you very much.